Hello, hello. Getting children, adolescents, and even adults to participate in the way that we would like, it's a big challenge. In each classroom, there will always be those who participate and others who perhaps due to an introverted personality, limit their participation. The situation has become much more complex during virtual classes. These spaces for many may have become a communication barrier, which has reduced the participation much more. Due to the above points during this session, I'm going to show you some tips in a very practical way to boost the students' participation in virtual classes and other tips or things that have helped me a lot. The first thing that I would like to say is that it's very important to create a fun and engagement atmosphere. Help students feel connected to each other and to you by offering simple icebreakers that will force students to learn more about each other. One option is to ask students to pair up and interview each other. Another fun game is to ask the class to answer trivia questions or non-controversial personal questions. For example, you can ask students to choose their favorite color or see how many are the oldest or the youngest or are the only child in their family. So they will feel more engaged in the class if they feel that they are part of a larger group or community. I know that this can be one of the trickiest things to accomplish in a virtual classroom, but there are still plenty of ways to build a strong community. Create a community structure such as message boards or even a Twitter or an Instagram hashtag that students can use to communicate and connect during and outside the class. You can start also doing some small things, such as using the chat to check understanding. The chat feature to ask and answer questions, or maybe type in emojis like thumbs up or thumbs down to show if the students are understanding a concept. To check or to create a structure around the responses, you can guide the students, creating norms around this chat. For example, they can decide like using only one emoji at a time. Another thing that is super useful is flipping the classroom to stimulate deeper discussion. Divide the students in breakout rooms to solve related problems with the topic of the class. That is going to help you spend less time in direct instruction. That is also going to help you listening to students and identify the problems or the students that are struggling, or also assist the students in a better way. Another thing that we need to take into account is that there are a lot of distractions around the students. So we need to have or do extra work to keep their attention. So one thing to do this is to focus on creating short and captivating lessons. Consider, for example, recording 5 to 10 minutes lectures, or having students engage with interactive media, such as YouTube videos, music, or even live performances as part of your curriculum. Encourage student interaction during your lessons. That means that is less lecturing and more open discussions. Another idea from this is to give more project-based learning activities to students and allow them more autonomy or over assignments. Naturally encourage the students to richer discussions in virtual learning. If we give students freedom as possible to experiment, research, and pursue interest within our content area, then they will have a lot more to say. Another idea to help students fight feelings of isolation is to assign students to a group and class projects. When the students collaborate, they can combine their creativity, share unique perspectives, and create relationships. These relationships will help them feel more comfortable participating in class and will also keep them honest because they won't want to let their partners or their team go down. And when it comes to class discussions, you can also give students a topic, place them into breakout rooms. They can also record their answers in a shared Google document, which is going to allow the students to share their thinking or writing. And then once they return to the whole class, you can choose some volunteers to share their answers with everyone. And finally, it's very important to take into account that if you want to know if your students are feeling engaged and grasping with the material, why don't you ask? Not every student will want to be like honest if your question goes directly. So consider creating anonymous polls, and that's gonna help students to let you know what they really think. This is a great way to assess how much they know about the topic at the beginning of the class, what types of assignments they want, or if a topic needs more discussion, and what would they recommend changing at the end of the class. I'm pretty sure there are more and more ideas to help your students like participating more in class. Thank you so much for watching this video and for attending this session. Bye-bye.